Okay, so on this video, we'll continue making improvements to our contract. Um, we can also make an improvement to our test. I guess here we can also just assert that is edited did. We take this one is edited did is actually true. I know we're not asserting other things, like you can't even assert the timestamp, right? Um, but yeah, it seems like this is probably one thing that probably should be asserting. But yeah, yeah, and I think that's good enough. So, okay, so in our library, we can add a function for being able to vote. Maybe some accounts, but it got down in there, it's good enough. Okay, do delete comment, let's call it vote comment, uh, vote, got a comment section name, and I guess we still need the user pro count post on index to grab the comment. And we'll need to know if it's an upvote or not, or a downvote. And I mean, there are different ways of doing this, but we'll just let this function take a boolean. Is upvote. I think goal is just like that. It's lowercase, right? I think it's everything else is uppercase. Well, not these, but yeah, okay. It'll take a boolean so that it can be an upvote or a downvote as opposed to putting in a number or a zero or having to account for that. Or having to have two functions, one for doing an upvote and one for doing a downvote. We'll just have this one. It'll just take a boolean. Yeah, just for this example anyway. So okay. Don't really need no requirements. I mean, I guess we can make it so that you have to have a chat account when we call this, so only somebody who has a chat account would be able to vote on accounts, which is pretty easy to do, but we wouldn't do that in here. Yeah. I mean, yep. Then it's yeah, just pulling a comment. So this is fine. Okay, so we're gonna have to do something to the comment. Okay, so let's just do if is up vote. If it's a not vote, then we do comment that votes, I think, is it? Plus equals one. Else would be the opposite. Minus equal one. I think it's votes on the comment. Yes, votes. Okay. So that's fine. That's pretty much it. And I guess we can also do our messages based on this as well. Well, I guess just these two is they're enough. Just these two. Just say user has voted message and put their address. User has downvoted message. And that should be enough. That's simple enough. And we still have to do the derived account for it though. So let's here, grab this delete one. Right, we cut this in, grab the comment. But we want to make sure that the person that's calling this has a chat account. So we don't have that in this, but we do have that require statement, and that require statement says that the person calling in has to be on the, I guess there's more than one way to do that. But this, if we just get a chat account like this one, a signer, person calling it has to have a chat account, so not just anybody can vote. And this, even though we're not using it for anything, we'll ensure that this chat account, the person calling the function, the person signing the contract, they have to have a chat account. It has to exist, even though we don't call this variable in the function to use it for anything. So yeah, that should cover for real. Voting could maybe do a test or ANIs. You can do a test, and then after that, yeah, we'll move on. Okay. So I guess we will vote right after we post the comment. Comment is called. Um, yes, we can assert that. I guess yes, or we'll do that before doing anything else. Uh, Vote post, or let's do up vote post. So we'll assert from the beginning. I guess not. We don't even have to do that. I think it's enough because it would still make sense anyway. So we have this. We need to call a function. This is one post. Call this, and we call the vote comment. Right. I don't think we built or anything, so it's gonna be angry like it don't exist. But um, yeah. So just be true. There's a message. We need this index. We're gonna need this index. Yeah, vote comment. Getting the comment, use post index, and then we'll have to get the comment, and then assert that the votes are equal one. Votes equal to one. Again. Okay, because it's an I-64, so we have to do like anchor dot the and like this. Do we have this imported? We have anchor right here. Did I not spell it right? Oh no. Because it's an I-64. Anything that is above like 32, this votes is an I-64, so it's a big number. That's how I take that, anchor that big number. But yeah, anything above 32 bits, you have to use this, and you also have to use it on the front end. And if you forget you have problems. And also, there's different ways of doing math with these that you have to do. Like you can't just do minuses from another number. You have to do like dot sub, right? Like dot sub, like to be subtract, and you want to add, you have to do like dot add. You can't just add them normal. They're a whole thing on their own, I guess. But yeah, noting that. Okay, so assert that this is one. That we do this again. Then assert that it's a 0. This time would be down voting, and this boolean would be false. So if we build it, hopefully that should make that go away. And hopefully, chat. I thought we weren't doing this um to get the comment PDA. So I think we can just use this because we don't need it except for really when there's a new post. Okay, so I think this should be fine. Like this was a new post, but yeah. You have to fetch the comment again. Mm, Seeing now it's not angry at us, but it's still a straight assertion. Well, it looks like that's the same, isn't it? Or do I have to do bn dot equal bn1 to equal bn1? And this is saying on line 65, so it is saying it here. Hmm. I wonder, because let me see, sometimes you can do different things with the assert. So let's try this. Assert dot equal. Try this without this one, see if we fail a little further up or not. Just because I know they're weird that way, but I'm not sure if I've ever actually done that. So it was 76. So I think that actually worked. Okay, so let's do that and do 0. I mean, yeah, I guess you can't even compare them that way because they're that weird. Now we do this. Is it's running the 5 rounds of doing things to the comment posting. Okay, cool. So that works, and I'm glad we got an example of that out of the way and how annoying that can be. But when you're doing math or anything on them, yeah, you have to use these functions. Okay, so we have that. We got the test working. So could go to the front end, but yeah, still not enough time in the back end. We can add plus thing. We can do a username so that we can actually assign a username. Okay, so we can go ahead and add in max username length, and actually we can put these down here and put these sizes up here. So we want to max user, sure, give a name, be one word, and we'll do 144 characters. I think I might have done 100 and yeah, 40, but I'll do 144 this time. 144, good enough. And we'll also need a size, and we need to actually put that in our account, right? On a string. Try to make it with the max size, and we'll see what we actually need. Okay, so this is a pub, user name. Make that a string, and that is just something that belongs on the chat account, right? Yeah, and it should be on the chat account, and we'll just have to access it because it can't be on a comment, right? If you have the username on the comment and someone changes their username, you would have to update all of the comments, right? That would not be feasible. So the most efficient way, the best way seems to be, or even doable, seems to just be to put it on the chat account, right? And then, yeah, to just access it there and update comments accordingly. So there's that. We'll also need a boolean that says whether or not to use it. Of use custom name. I'll add a bool, whether I want to use it. Okay. So we got the max length, and there'll have to be some value that's like the exercise. I think it was like 114, but I'm also doing slightly more. So we'll call this the max username exercise to add to the account to accommodate for the maximum username, basically, just like we did for the comment, where we had to add exercise to it. Because if we have that, we do need that, I guess. We'll do our derived account, and then we'll do our function. So, might create chat account, right? We're already making the chat account, and we'll need another one for, really two, right? One for setting the username and one for toggling off whether or not we'll use it, basically, I would say. So this will be mutable. There's no signers, there's no size being allocated. But we are going to need to add extra size, right, to the chat account to accommodate for that string that has varying sizes all the way up to 144, right? Okay, and not this. We want And we'll just set this to like 140 right now. It'll just say username extra size. Did say, yeah. Okay. Down to right derive for comments, create chat account right here. Okay, and that'll give it the exercise. So this we want to set username. We'll call it that. And we'll say set username flag for the other one. Set username flag, and these will be the same. We get the chat accounts based on the signer who's calling the function. It should be their chat account. This says chat account, but this says comment section. What is this nonsense? Chat account for the variable that we're not even using, but we'll use it now in these functions. Okay, so we got that. So now we want to, I mean, I guess you should be able to the moment you have a chat account. Create chat account. What am I calling anything? Create chat account, set username flag. Okay. Set username and then set username flag, and we'll have a flag which is called a boolean. A bool which is no, it's a flag that is of type bool. Okay. Okay, set username, and we need to make sure it's the proper length. Right when we're setting the username, call this set username flag. This will be set username. So this should actually be here. This is a flag. Got the flag here. Definitely using the sure I'm using the right sound. Okay, don't have problems later. This is still moving. Okay, cool. Set the username can't be more than 144 characters, and be like, username is too long, and not the max comment length. But why do I have this there? Oh yeah, max comment length right there. Okay, max username length. Okay, max username length, and we'll also have to feed in a username for name like a long word. I've been doing that. Username. This is strange. Oh, whatever. It's got a capital N. Its length has to be less, and we'll get the username too long error. Just probably have. Okay, we do have something right here. There we go. The username can't be longer than 144 characters. Okay. Yep. So that should be good. Username too long. That's the same error rate. Yeah, username too long, invalid length error, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we get in the username, and so now, after we're sure that it's fine, we have to pull out the chat account for the function. Chat account. So if you wanted to, print out the previous values, we could, but we don't have to. Like, print out chat account dot user name. But anyway, we don't need to do that. We'll just say new chat account username, the address, and then the name. Username. Print that in the logging. Chat account username is equal to this string, basically. Okay, and if we're setting the username, that means that we will set use username to true when we set the username, because it's just assuming that if we're setting the username as something true, that we definitely want to use it. Use custom name, and we'll set that to true whenever this is set. Not here. This, and we set this to true, right? And then we'll have this basically. Our flag, not setting the username, but we would just be setting this to the flag. Um, Chat account, username, use custom name flag changed. We'll say that the value is this flag. Okay, the value is this flag. Okay, I think that's pretty good, except there is a bug that can come in the UI when you're changing the flag before it's finalized and you call it again. It ends up, the UI ends up being wrong, I guess, at some point and confusing itself. Uh, Basically, all we want to do is just have an error that says that we can't set the flag to itself, basically. Do I already have that? Yeah, flag, same state, invalid operation. Okay, so let's just do that. Get this, or is the other error? Okay, this one. Okay, we have to check it out. Can't. Let me look for the actual. Not doing myself any favors here. And comment about it. Just something like this. And we have this in here. Uh, Another error. Don't need that. But this is the last one at the moment. Okay. Hanger. Require that chat account that use custom flag is not equal to the flag value that we're setting in. We basically should not be. Flag is enabled. I guess we'll just use that. Is enabled, invalid, blah, 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 blah. Alright, this way we won't end up setting the flag to the same value. It should change chat account that use custom flag equals flag that equals is enabled. Is flag changed. Okay, so I think that's good enough. And then we can use that on the front end to say whether or not they should be using the custom name. So now the only thing that we have to do is just write the test for the custom name, since we already got one for voting. Create the chat account. Sets. Creates custom username. Sure. We already have that. We have a new function. Now we want to set the username like this in our test. Set username, and it needs that. Let's see, or is that word generator word or blind text generator blind text? There it is. We need 144 characters, not words. Make sure it's characters. 144 of them. We get that, and this will be our. We'll be testing with the max payload. You see, const username 144 equals this. Now we got 144 character username. We haven't built it yet, so we don't know what it is. But yeah, this should be fine. This should basically be it. And this we would grab the chat account and just say that the chat account dot, username is equal to the one we just fed in. Down in our chat account, it's just called use name, username. So in here, we say that this username, I was a little inconsistent with these. With this, I am going to go back and make all my ins capital. User, let me see, username. So I might as well put extra spaces in this, treat it all the same. Username, username. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to be consistent at the moment because of username. And any of them stuck together and aren't like that. Out there, the problem, I'm sure it'll come up. Username, exercise, and that is pretty much it. I think. Okay, we'll see when we build. Probably could have built before we even came here, but we'll keep going. Then we'll see what's wrong. So that username, which still doesn't exist because we haven't built it yet, so it's angry at us. Okay, username should be equal to this one. That seems fine. And let it such use custom name flag to false because it should be true now. So set. All right. I guess we could also assert that when we create the name, assert that use custom name is true with it. That's all it is use custom name. Use custom name, yeah, it's true. And we want to set it to false with our flag, and we'll have another test. We're setting it back to true. And that should be good enough. Set user name flag. Set username flag. We're going to set it false. And then we're just going to do this. Verify that it's false. And then this, another test. Set it back to true. True. And verify that it's true. Okay, let's see how many problems we got. I'm going to use username 65. Okay, well, it built at least 65. This username. I am using it. It's right here. It seems like it's some raw colors or something I did. All that worked. Okay. I'm using it right here, but I guess I would wonder why is it not. Oh, I see. Can't do it this way. But this, yeah, it seems like it worked. Even though don't like the way it's named, this has to be named this way. Okay, outlet passed. It seems like, yeah, that worked swimmingly, but let's try building it again. Anchor test, we'll build it. Make sure I don't get no warnings. Yeah, convert that over to snake case. This is snake case. And I think this is camel case, and this is snake case. The way it's written. Okay, so I think that is good. We've got our contract updated, and we got our test updated, testing that the username stuff actually works. Except, we should also test the size, make sure that the other stuff is working. So we need to add a character, add one character to the username. Should get an error that it's too long. We're still just trying to run drill. Yeah, flag. Yeah, can't set flag to the same state, which didn't change because we didn't set a username too long. 144 characters, so That works just fine. Okay, so the extra space is like, why did it break? It's because I'm already adding extra space. So it was 114 before, but I think I'll actually end up needing more than that because I have 144 characters, not 140. So let's see if this breaks because there's not enough space allocated to account for the big username that we're using and setting and stuff. But yeah, just testing stuff under max load to see if it'll break or not. And this is probably the serialization error because there's not enough space. And probably yeah, the flag is fine yet. Count did not deserialize because we don't have enough space to make it account. So, I just want to figure out what the actual value that they want is. We'll figure that out just so that we can make a note of it in the comment, and then we can pick something that's higher than the actual value that it needs to be stable, just to keep it safe. Still not big enough, huh? I already lowered that dock to 140, or, and this is running through the comment. I'm posting 5 times. That's why it's taking a little extra time. Okay, I may try 130. So that worked. Probably if you wanted it to go a little faster, instead of running through 5 comments, we could just, you know, run through one, make it slightly faster. So we did 130, that worked. Let's try 125. Well, this is how I've been doing it anyway. It seems fine. So 120 didn't work, but 125 did. Let's try 123, see when it breaks. Still not broken. Let's try 121. Either this or 122 at least. Let's see. No, still passing. So it must be 121. So if we do 120, then it will not work, I'm guessing. That's what happened last time, originally. Right. So yeah, we try to create a custom username, and it's just not working when it should be set as a custom username, not really creating it. I'm gonna change it real quick. But yeah, when we try to set that username, it's not working because it's too big. There's not enough space for the chat account to handle it. It needs to be at least 121. So I guess we'll still be 140 to be safe. So now we do that, and now this passes, and go changes this back to running 5. Um, 5 comments at least. Or we're not using I for anything. Should probably just set I to 0. Yeah, we're not using I for anything. I'm going to say I equals 0, and I is less than 5. Okay, so we should be good. Got 5 comments under max load, getting replied and edited and deleted. We got our custom name and are getting voted. We already got our votes in. So now we just need to, what is this? Upvote. Okay, so now that is good. So now you should be good to move to the front end and start hooking up all this stuff. But still not very much time in the back end in comparison. Yep, just mostly front end. But now we've already built it. Gonna have to do Solana test validator. And we're gonna have to deploy it, get the new program ID, and then get that going. Gonna have to replace this. So it's trying to initialize the validator. But yeah, we had the validator off the whole time because we were testing And I think I get more staticky actually when the Solana the test validator is all the way ramped up and it's taking all that memory. If we go to our this, we could have checked beforehand, but I imagine it's just now building up. But I think it'll get higher than that, this VMN thing. Anyway, then we can run our Solana logs so that we have our logs from these messages. Okay, so now anchor deploy, and the longer our contract gets, the more transactions it'll have to run. And these logs also show up from all the test transactions it's running. While that's running, so now we got a new program ID, which is still the same. I think we should actually delete the target because we made so many changes. Because, yeah, sometimes things just don't work properly, so you get a fresh start. So we'll have to do a build, which will take a while. And then we can deploy again after. All right, so we'll wait for this to finish. Okay, now that we have it rebuilt, we can go ahead and deploy it. So now, since we deleted the target and rebuilt it, we should get a different program ID. This is different. In here for a test file, and we rebuild it again. Um, okay, so we got our new IDL file. But before we actually put that in, I noticed that these buttons were off. It didn't really seem like there was anything different between this tutorial project and the other project, so it's something that we can just fix. Um, yeah, it normally when you mess with the margin, it moves the whole thing, but yeah, I can just add some negative margin to pull it up, and that is good enough so that it looks better. And when I put it on GitHub, I won't have to give you something that has stuff in it that's looking ugly. Okay, so now that we have that, we have to replace our IDL file, and that is going to reset all our data. Let's just replace both of these. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna want to do, we can refresh, erase everything, got our new contract in there. Yeah, I guess we haven't tested this out fresh, have we? Create a comment section. This button should change and the light should come up. Actually, did we? I don't think we made it so that you need to have a chat account. We also need a chat account, don't we? Oh my god. Okay, that was successful. I think we didn't make it so that we needed a comment section, a chat account to create a comment section, but you do in the actual one. We could have, but we didn't. So let's see. So that button changed and this light changed. But before that, I guess we should also have a new light, one that's for the chat account. I guess just go ahead and get that out of the way. So here in the add components, add comment, right? This comment section ready. And actually, for the chat account, I think we might actually have that on the wallet for the user because it's more specific to them. And then we just check it on the wallet. I think we could definitely do that. Let me see. Global states, anchor program, this other stuff. Not for the chat account. Is it the connected wallet? Okay, is chat account ready? Okay, this is where we would do it. So I guess really we would do it on the wallet button when they're connected, and I guess then we would know. So I guess that is something that we need to add that we will know ahead of time. So that's in components in the nav bar. Let's close out some stuff, make our workspace a little easier to deal with. Sometimes that's helpful. when you're working on something new, just to get rid of all the files and clutter. Um, right. Yeah, we're gonna need that light from that. We also need the wallet button. So the wallet button is in the nav bar, a Solana wallet button. This wallet button. Okay, click that. Okay, connect a wallet. And this is where we were setting it. I guess here in the cases where we actually have a public key unmounted, we would want to check then. And if the public key that is connected changes, we would also want to check then. So we can add a little bit of that. We have a watcher here. Hmm, really just need a full watch ID. We don't need if it's ready because that's inside of the connected wallet, right? So, oh, this is already here. Is chat account already watch ID? We already have that. So what we need is a listener and on unmount it. We would need to kill it. So let's see. Unmounted. On unmount it, we're gonna want to kill our watch ID because we're gonna want to watch the chat account. Oh really? Do we want to listen here? Or do we want to listen? No, I guess we could have all our listeners here for the user specific stuff in here, not in the ad comment. I think that's fine. But I grab this on unmounted. Put this actor here. If it's not, we'll remove it. Okay, so now we need an example of a listener. It says listening for the comment section of the initialization. This will listen for the chat account initialization. You'll put this at the bottom. Because we have a reactive global state if we change it in our wallet. Processor account not. No, they're not going to use that for this. It's just too much. Okay, I don't think we need this. Yeah, at all. We would just be, if we call it, we would just be trying subscribe our watch ID for the chat account, and the chat account would be the public key, I guess, but we need, no, that's the signer, but if we're going to listen, we need the PDA, right? So we're going to have to add something for that, for getting the chat account PDA. So that's in here. We need something for getting the chat account, which let me see, do we just have what do we have in our test? That's normally where you get it if you already wrote the test for getting the chat account. Get chat account PDA, just the public key it takes. It looks like this. Except we just need to also export it, right? You can't do that. You can do this. Program ID. Okay. And instead of doing this, I think we have the public key already coming from Solana Web3. We don't have to use it from Anchor. So we could just say public key and make it shorter. I'd mentioned that before probably, but maybe it makes more sense now. We can get it from two different places. Okay, so now we have that. We got to import this into our wallet button. Let me see. Get and import line RPAs here. Actually, the wallet button might already have. Now it don't. Okay, and we want our chat account PDA. This using this? We don't need that. It's probably just in there, but we do not need that. We want to get the chat account PDA. And it's this watch ID. And we want to set what's in our wallet. Connected wallet dot. Because if we were listening to it and there were any change, it means that it must exist, and we can just remove that, and we would say connected dot wallet, not the errors of global states. Connected wallet, his chat account ready. We would set that to true, and that would be it. Else we wouldn't. I mean, you could have this set to false, but it should already be false, right? And there's no dot value. It's just that. Yeah, props. We need our public key. Which one to use? I mean, I guess we have we already set it in our connected wallet. Connected wallet dot public key. That public key, but we'll just do connected wallet. It'll take a public key. Is chat account ready? Unchanged for this chat account. So I think all this is fine. We probably don't really need to set this to false, right? Here, in case there was a thing that we can just explicitly do that, I guess. And when to listen. I guess we would only want to listen if we'd probably want to check it first, right? And only set a listener, because, setting a listener that takes up resources until it's updated, right? Is, yeah, maybe not the best choice. So, we'll do a wait, but we will make another function similar to one we already have, right? It says is comment section initialized. We'll see is the chat account initialized. Chat account initialized, then it would take the same thing. User address public key. Get the chat account PDA. The user address, not this account, it would be a chat account. Chat account return true, else return false. That should be fine. And that'll tell us if it's initialized or not. So, in the wallet button, we would do if, and we would do, I think you can just do that with the connected wallet dot public key. And we need to go import this with our PDA. Is if at turn to true. I think you can do this with the if statement in the way you would do that. We would listen, else we would not listen. Um, wait, no. If it returns false, then we would want to listen. If it returns false, we want to listen. So we do not that, which I'm not sure if we can do that. Put a not in front of the await like that. Can you put this in parentheses? I don't know. Maybe I don't even have to do that. Don't think I've ever done that before, but they'll see any red lines here at least. Yep. Check to see if it's initialized. If it's not initialized, and yeah, we could just have a variable here if we wanted to. And I think that's pretty much it. And then when the wallet changes, we want to do the same thing, right? If there's an actual public key. I wonder why we have this extra check here. If it's not equal, like it wasn't already. Because this sounds like you'd want to only do it if it wasn't already set to ones, but if it changed, it seems like Oh, if this value is not equal to a bunch of ones. Okay, that makes sense. Because I guess sometimes a public key value can come. I guess a bunch of ones, and if it does, we don't want to set our connected wallet to that. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Still not sure about that. But okay, so we're doing this when the listen comes. Oh, wait a minute. I guess we can have an else, right? Else. We would want to set our chat account to true because we know it exists, so it must be true. All right. Um, I guess we could go ahead and do that, right? That's fine. Make this a little plainer. Will equal what this returns, right? It'll equal is this initialized, and then if not, I think that's a little better. That's a little better. We would, yeah. If it needs to get updated again, it'll get updated here. If not, it was already updated here. So I think that's a little better. Okay. Then that should get is the chat account ready, and if the chat account is ready, then do we have a connected wallet here already? We do. We're gonna want to feed this into our comment section progress bar. Have another one. Oh, I guess we already have is a chat account ready, is a comment section ready. So I guess those are the two lights. Okay. So is chat account ready? So we have that comment section progress bar. Only the one. Okay, so this is already hooked up. Is chat account ready? But we need a button for it, and we're also gonna need to check this. So before we get the button, we're creating comment section. So just kind of like this, add it to it. So we can also have some comments here, make it a little easier to tell where we are and to read it. Create chat account. Create account section. Post message. Okay. They're different buttons, different things they're doing. Big ass gap. Okay. So this should be v else if, but this would be this one. Not that. Progress bar right here. This. Be if the chat account is not ready. What is this? Straight comment section. Post. Create chat account. Okay, so now we should have a button for now, and we need a function for that. Is it just a straight chat account, and it's just a signer, so I ain't gotta do nothing special. But there's no right. Okay, you gotta go actually make this function and stuff down here. So get this. Create the chat account. I think it's saying this way. The function the signer will is the only thing we need, so we don't need to pass nothing in. Create chat account is what we're calling the function. Okay, I think that might actually be it for creating the chat account. Yeah, you can kind of throw it all over the place here. Okay. Is there a listener for this? There's a listener that's listening for the comment section. Okay, so it's reactive. It's a reactive variable. The listener is in the wallet button that is listening to the chat account, right? We do have a listener for the user's chat account, and that's in the wallet button. That was successful. So let's see if this updates, and then this should turn green, and then we should be able to post. So the post is there, but this thing's completely gone. We must have the wrong setting, I guess, from showing it is all. So that is what? An add comment, the progress bar. We show the progress bar if, oh, like if you want to show it at all. I mean, we want to show it all the time. It's just whether or not it's, so I guess we just don't want this here. That's just whether or not, well, that spacing's not right. What's with this ugly spacing? But both lights are on, so we want to show it all the time. I think there was something inside of it that was supposed to control for the margin. Let me go look at this one. No, nothing else special unless it's on the outside. Well, I don't know, maybe not even actually like why would it change at all? Like nothing else is different. Small margin bottom. I mean, yeah, there's no difference between this and yeah, well, I'll just leave that large there for now, but yeah. So I think that's working. I think it's working as intended now, and it actually renders and it has lights on. And then we would get the ability to post once we actually have something filled in. So I think that's good now. Um, but I guess if we want to quickly, yeah, I guess yeah, both contracts are the same, so we can't do that. If we had actually deployed another one, the IDL files wouldn't be pointing to the same contract. But but yeah, I guess we can redeploy version 2 to another contract by deleting the target and just verify that this actually goes smoothly. That's good testing, right? Okay, so I deleted the target, rebuilt and deployed for a different program, and I stuck that inside of version 2. So now version 2 is the same contract, but with no data in it, a different program ID. So it's like a different contract. Anyway, so let's go ahead and should have signed in first. Okay, so we're creating a chat account. Make sure that updates on its own without giving us no problems. Actually, am I not supposed to display this bar at all when it's full? Maybe I'm actually not supposed to. Or maybe that was the intention that it wasn't displayed when it was full. Actually, I have to recheck that, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why those if statements were there, but that's not super important. That's super important. So yeah, it updated on its own, and the light updated. Yeah, so that's super smooth, super smooth. Okay, so now we need to get our comments, and let's see, the video is already approaching an hour, so let's see how much we can talk about that. Should hopefully only need one more video for this. Okay, no, not that. This, okay. We need to get our comment list in there, right? And the way that our comments are structured is completely different, just based on the seeds. You go to our contract, our derived accounts, go look at, um, yeah, see how long this thing is getting. And we post a comment, right? And this is a comment, and we initialize that the seeds are, the word comment, the comment section name. So a comment belongs to the comment section, and it's the chat account dot post count, which is basically, it's a comment section name, and it's how many times the user has posted an account not specific to a comment to a specific comment section name, because this number just keeps going up and it doesn't care about the comment section name. But yeah, whereas the other one was a comment section ID and it did care, so there was a comment section post count, and that was directly related to the comment section name. So yeah, so the way that we can render and grab these is different, right? We can't really keep track of this number in a good way that would allow us to have the PDA so that we could fetch it, or I could not think of one. So, as I mentioned before in the test, there's only really two ways that you can grab an account. You can do .fetch, and there's some other like .fetch and contacts, multiple blah 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 blah, get account info, subscribe and unsubscribe to accounts, which yeah whatever. Or there's .all, right? And that would basically give you an array of all of the comment accounts. Basically. You see, why is that red? What are you complaining about? It says nothing. I guess because it's a different type of variable. Var test. Okay. Yeah, you would do that all. That would give you all of the comment accounts, and that's really the only way that you could do that. And you could probably imagine the issues with that. Let's just say, you were on YouTube, right, and you go to a YouTube video and you want it to serve you a video. That would be like if you had to fetch all of the YouTube videos in existence, because there's only one type of account called the comment that we have. It's just the comment in this example that we're doing. And yeah, then you have to sort through it based on the comment section name and stuff. And you can imagine that's extremely bad, but due to the limitation of how this works, right, with the seeds, we couldn't use the comment section ID, because that prevents everybody from being able to post a comment at the same time, which is not tenable. So we have to try to optimize around it, and I'm not going to get into that now, I guess, but I will get into that when I get to the contract walkthrough and I walk through the main contracts. So I think that would be a better place to that. So we'll get to that eventually. But yes, the way that we render them in the front end is going to be different because of that. We will have to, instead of doing it in the comment list where we can just grab all the comments and then check IDs and stuff, or we can fetch specific comments and iterate through them. We can't do that. We will have to come up a level, since we're grabbing all the comments, and do it in the comment section, feed it into the comment list, have it grab the comments that it needs, basically, having a list or an array of all the comments, have it get the ones that it needs, filter out those, and then send the remaining ones. It'll just send the remaining ones down. It'll just have to pass that into the comment, and then that comment would pass it into its comment list, and it could use some filtering to get the remaining comments. But yeah, there are some better ways to optimize this, but we'll get into that in the contract walkthrough. So I think, I mean, that this explanation, I think, was definitely necessary, but yeah, I think we can cut it there and then try to finish up the rest of this in the next video. So I will see you then.